Have you ever noticed that the moment you get a little bit ahead, maybe a bonus, a tax refund, or a small win, something unexpected suddenly happens? The car breaks down, the tooth needs a filling, or, perhaps more honestly, you suddenly decide that this is the month you finally deserve that upgrade you've been eyeing. Most people call this bad luck. I call it a wealth allergy. It is a documented psychological phenomenon where your brain treats a financial surplus exactly the same way your body treats a virus. It senses an abnormality in your financial temperature, and it works overtime to get you back to your baseline. For most of the population, that baseline is zero. You aren't struggling because you're lazy. You aren't struggling because you're bad at math. You are struggling because your subconscious mind is terrified of having extra. Think of your mind like a thermostat. If you set the temperature to 68 degrees, and the sun starts pouring through the window, the air conditioner kicks on to bring the temperature back down. Your mind has a financial thermostat. If you've spent your whole life conditioned to believe that you are a person who just gets by, your brain has set your thermostat to survival. When a windfall of money hits your account, your internal temperature rises. You feel a surge of dopamine, but shortly after, a subtle anxiety kicks in. This is the surplus panic. Your brain begins scanning your environment for ways to lower the temperature. It starts whispering, "You need new shoes, you should treat the family to a big dinner, you've worked so hard, you deserve this." This is the wealth allergy in action. It is a biological drive to return to the safety of the empty state. Why? Because to your primitive brain, empty is familiar. And familiar is safe. Wealth represents change, and change represents the unknown. To the lizard brain, a high bank balance is a target. It's a risk. It's something to be managed, protected, and worried about. So, to save you from the stress of having money, your brain helps you get rid of it. The most dangerous part of this allergy is the justification engine. This is the part of your mind that creates logical reasons for emotional spending. You don't tell yourself you're self-sabotaging. You tell yourself it's an investment. You tell yourself it's a necessity. You tell yourself you'll start saving next month. But next month never comes, because the thermostat is still set to 68 degrees. If you want to cure this, you have to stop looking at your bank statements and start looking at your identity. You cannot out-earn a self-image that is allergic to success. If you give a person with a survival thermostat $1 million, they will find a way to lose it. We see this with lottery winners and professional athletes every single day. Their income changed, but their internal temperature didn't. To break the cycle, you must undergo exposure therapy. You have to learn to sit with the discomfort of having extra. You have to train your brain to look at a stagnant, growing pile of money and not feel the itch to move it. The cure starts with the 5-day freeze. The next time you get a surplus, you do nothing. You don't pay a debt, you don't buy a gift, you don't even move it to savings. You let it sit in your checking account. You force your brain to stare at it. You feel the panic rise, the urge to spend, the urge to fix the surplus, and you do nothing. You are teaching your nervous system that a surplus is not a threat. You are recalibrating your thermostat. When you stop being allergic to your own success, you stop being a pass-through for wealth. Money stops flowing through you and starts flowing to you. It stops being a hot potato you need to drop and starts becoming a foundation you can build on. You don't need a better job. You need a better internal climate. Set the thermostat to abundance, and watch how quickly the world stops trying to cool you down.